Hey everyone, John here. So, I wanted to give my thoughts on the first few episodes of a new Netflix original series that I've been watching. This is a new show called Alexa and Katie. It's a sitcom, like tween slash teen family drama comedy, I should say. It is a sitcom, and well, there's some things I want to talk about with that. You see, going into the show, the only thing I really knew about it is that it was a new kids show, a live action one, of course, on Netflix, and that it was about a teenage girl who has cancer. Now, with that whole thing, I assumed they were going to go for kind of more of like a serious, kind of more straightforward tone. But what I got, at least initially with the show, was basically something that felt like kind of more of a silly, goofy kind of sitcom with, a live audience, three camera setup, laugh track sort of thing. Now, let me just say that the show has kind of grown on me more since watching the first episode, but that was something that kind of turned me off. Now, I don't have a problem really with laugh tracks on these kind of shows and kind of having more of the silly, goofy kind of tone. Even in a show that's more dramatic, like Girl Meets World. But when you're dealing with something that is kind of more of a serious subject matter, I was turned off by kind of what at first seemed like kind of more of a silly, goofy kind of sitcom. Now, when you watch the first episode, at least when I watched it, like I said, it had kind of that goofy, silly tone, the laugh track and everything. And for at least the first half of the first episode, it was it was comedic, and I was not finding the jokes funny like at all. I wasn't laughing. By the end of that first episode, it did get better for me because it went for kind of more dramatic stuff, dealing with the complicated aspect of this whole idea of a teenage girl who has cancer and the struggles of like hiding it from people and dealing with it and all that, the health problems. There was a nice little clever twist with one of the kind of the story points that I like, so I was kind of okay with that. By the time I got to the second episode, I'm like, okay, this is an okay, decent show. I don't think it's anything amazing, but I think that so far, I think it's pretty solid. Like I said, I've watched the first four episodes so far, and it's not too bad. I kind of like it. Now, at first, like I said, I wasn't liking the comedic aspects of it, but then with the second episode, like I started finding myself enjoying the comedy more. Now, it was kind of doing something a little different where it would kind of go back and forth between the comedy and the drama, and I think the show is doing both of those aspects pretty well. Part of me still kind of wishes it went for kind of a more serious, down to earth tone, like something like Andy Mack on the Disney Channel. But I think it all is pretty done pretty well. They deal with a couple of different kind of more serious issues in addition to the cancer. Like there's one episode, I don't remember if it was the second or third episode of the series, that kind of deals with the idea of now, like, because it focuses on these two teen girls, Lex and Katie. It is kind of more of a focus on Alexa, though, despite the title. But in one of the episodes, there's kind of a plot involving the character Katie and about how her, she has a single mom and a younger brother, and they don't have a ton of money, and it kind of gets into some more serious stuff with that. And the show never really goes too serious, at least not so far. Like I said, I'm only four episodes in, but it handles that stuff pretty well. It actually can be kind of smartly written at times. Like I said, I was just sitting down watching the fourth episode. That episode kind of deals with kind of the whole idea of the way people with certain, whether it be like a disease, an illness, disability, can get kind of like special treatment from people, and, the pros and cons of that, so to say. You think it's going to go kind of in a more basic, kind of predictable direction, but it does something kind of different with it too that I liked. Um, Other things with the show, you have the main actress. Her name is, I forget her name, but she was on the show Mighty Med on Disney XD, and also its sequel series Lab Rats Elite Force. I enjoyed her on those shows, and she does a pretty good job here too, doing kind of a more down to earth kind of regular character, except for having this issue of having the cancer that is. But she does a pretty good job with the comedic aspects, the dramatic aspects. All the actors do a pretty solid job. Like I said, I mean, it's not like this is the first time I've ever seen shows like this. Even I think like a kid show deal with some of these more serious issues, but it does them in a somewhat more kind of clever, different, unique way. I'm not gonna say it's like the greatest thing ever, but it's pretty solid actually. I'm kind of enjoying the show. Like I was watching the first episode, I'm like, I was feeling kind of disappointed in it. Like I was like, I'm not sure if I'm liking this, but like I said, as it's gone on, I'm enjoying it a little more. I've seen this kind of be a trend in a lot of kid coms I've been watching. Like where they kind of start off being not that good, but they can kind of get better as they go along. Like that's with Raven's Home. That's what this with like Liv and Maddie. Even shows like Girl Meets World and Annie Mac were just kind of like okay when they just first started, at least for me, and they kind of became better as they went along and became kind of very good shows. So yeah, I am going to continue watching this. Maybe I'll give some more updates on how I feel on Twitter, or maybe do another video. But yeah, I think that's my thoughts for now. So overall, pretty solid. I'm enjoying it, and I would recommend checking it out if if it sounds like something you might enjoy. Don't expect anything amazing, but what I'm getting so far ain't too bad. I definitely like it better than Fuller House, so it's got that going for it, which is nice. Okay, so thanks for watching, and have a good day, everyone.